Hey everyone, it's Sean from La Pavoni Mac. I know it's been a long time since I've done a video, but a lot has happened. I'm not really going to do another update video because I felt like I did too many of those. But long story short, we moved. Me and my wife bought our first house. So I now have a garage, a basement, a house, a yard. So that means more videos and more awesome content like I used to put out a couple of years ago. So anyway, I picked up this cheap little Poulan 3314 at a pawn shop just down the road because I needed a saw. I've got a couple limbs that need to come down, and I have the rest of a tree I need to chunk up and put in my wood pile before this winter. So I decided I'd make a video on getting the saw running. The guy said it ran. When I bought it, I got it home. It kind of ran. It didn't really run. So I decided to rebuild the carburetor, and instead of getting just the rebuild kit, I actually took a chance and I bought a Chinese brand new carburetor, Walbro look-alike carburetor for this thing. Comes with fuel lines and a couple other things, fuel filter, new primer ball, and I'm also upgrading the bar from a 14-inch bar and chain to a 16-inch Oregon bar and chain. It's a 9156 chain, half an inch by 3/8. So anyway, this video is going to take you through me putting on this Chinese carburetor. Hopefully it works. If not, there's probably enough good stuff there that I can swap it over to the old Walbro that I took off and rebuild it. I got to put new fuel lines, a new fuel filter in it. I'm going to put a new spark plug in it and a new primer ball, and then I'll also put the new blade and or the bar and chain on, and then we'll see how it runs. So here we are. Here's the little saw. Forgive me for not having a workbench yet. That's something that is to come. So I'm just going to use my extra stack of Ranger rims as of my workspace right now. As you can see, I already have the bar and chain off, and I already took the old carburetor off as well. So we're all set to go ahead and start in on the new one. I think I'm probably going to do the fuel lines first. But why don't we set this aside, and we will open up some packages that we have, which is all parts for this saw. So I got fuel line, I got fuel filters, I have a new air filter, carburetor gaskets. Set those aside. And I've got a really crappy little cardboard box that's pretty much broken in half. Yeah, so that carburetor shipped really well. I'm glad about that. And then we've got a primer ball, some more fuel line, and then we have the carburetor itself. Alright, I took the front cover off. That has given me a lot more access to the primer ball here. Look at that. Just right out. Not a problem. So, if you guys don't know this trick to get line down inside a tank like this, I'll show you. Because the line diameter needs to be bigger than the tank hole because there's no gasket. That's what does the sealing. So what you do is you take a knife, hopefully you can see me doing that, and you cut a kind of like a 20-degree maybe line. And if you're worried about me cutting on these tires, they are completely bald and junk, so I don't care if I cut them. I just have them for the rims. So you just cut it back at an angle, so that you're able to squeeze it down through the hole, and then you can usually pull it down through. So I'm going to cut off the end. It's all junk now, because you've been prying on it. And you're going to take the fuel filter that came with the kit, and just slap it on there real nice. And this line is going from the tank into the primer ball, and then there's going to be one from the primer ball to the carburetor, and then there's another line, an overflow line from the carburetor back into the tank that isn't filtered, but this one is the filtered line. So you got the filter on there now. You want to bring it out long enough that you can do this outside the tank, because we'll never put the filter on inside the tank. And then you want to pull on the line, pull it back in, back into the tank. And you want it long enough that that fuel filter is just going to sit in the tank, so that when it's full you got plenty of room for it to move around in. Right about there should be good for our purposes. Like I said, that one went a lot easier. So we're just going to leave that one in the tank till we put the carburetor on. I grabbed the gaskets that came with the kit. It's all pretty standard stuff, you guys. You guys know the drill by now. So before we put the top back on, I'm going to go ahead and put the new bar and chain on. Now that I have it, that opened quickly. We'll have to see how much adjusting this thing needs, but I guess we'll see. Well, I finally got this thing tuned. Took me setting the carburetor back and forth about, I don't know, 10, 20 times. I've never had a carburetor that was this hard to adjust. It's probably because it's a crappy Chinese carburetor or something. But anyway, it wasn't really liking anything I was doing, and I tried resetting it to, factory specs on these, which is 1.5 turns out for high and 3/4 turns out for low from stock. And that didn't do anything, probably because they use different screws. The chambers are slightly different on the inside of this knockoff one, so it didn't really make a difference. But I finally got it cutting, so I'll give you a little example over here. It does pretty well with the 16-inch bar. Actually, I'm pretty happy with it. as you can see, it doesn't quite run right still. I've been messing with it as I've been cutting because I like to adjust them finally mid-cut because that's where they're really going to need to perform. You could hear it kind of fluttering a little bit at the high RPM range when I was mid-cut. I think I just need to, I think it's actually a little bit too rich. It smells a little bit too rich. So I think I need to lean out the fast mixture just a tidbit. But anywho, hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry if the fuel line debacle earlier was a little bit boring. Hopefully I sped it up enough for you guys, and hope you enjoyed. There'll be a lot more like this now with the new space that I have and the new machines and stuff that I got sitting in the garage, so it should be good. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching.